For Advanced Studies in Humanities at Patrick Henry High School in Roanoke, Virginia. What's unusual here is they're using an interdisciplinary approach at the high school level. Teachers of several subject areas are working together to plan the curriculum. Let's go now to Patrick Henry High, where a powerful blend of social studies, world history, English, and fine arts is breaking traditional boundaries.
What I really want is children to change the world and to be the leaders in the 21st century. And you can't do that in the traditional classroom. It seemed to me that so much of what we were doing in education was isolated, one subject from another. Learning doesn't take place that way. It takes place as a whole.
It is more cohesive that way because you learn the history of something and then you read about it in the literature and you see how it all comes together.
I think a lot of it is the past, present, future idea. Taking what we've already learned, learning more about it, and then deciding how we can use it later on, and tying all the different themes, the math, the science, the humanities, tying all of those together and using the computer to do that.
I think it's more meaningful, and it's really hard to describe why. But you see it, you do see it in the classroom every day.
So we came up with an idea, and I hope that you will give some thought to this. We're going to have...
Some teachers might be a little bit afraid of working within a team if they haven't done it before. But I have found the advantages far outweigh the disadvantages. It's wonderful to be able to work with another teacher, because oftentimes you can come up with an idea that you think is great, and it could fall flat. But if you've gone over it with another teacher and worked out some of the fine points together and really looked at ways you could integrate different subject areas, you come out with a whole lot more success usually.
You'll get 10 hours of seminar credit for this article.
You'll be getting a grade both in geography and English for it. And I'll be looking for certain things, and Ms. Bourdeaux will also.
And once you get the idea rolling, you just step back and let it happen. The students take it on.
I could go downtown with Sarah and we could use her camcorder and I could use my camera. We could take pictures of the site and the building, and we could arrange the interview to do it on the scene.
And then immediately we need to schedule the interview. That's probably one of the first things we need to do and go to the library.
Like on the computer we could use the database, the CD-ROM.
We could trace the history and scan pictures.
They learn to work together cooperatively, and that's something we really need to stress in our society, because most jobs require you to work in some kind of team.
All that jazz. Work on the blues later. There are 4 basic subjects that were included in this project, and they were history, English, computer science, and art. Are we gonna need more than 10 seconds of this song, or just the other one? Can we do that? And after we did that, we all started on research, and we got books about our special, topic.
We took the time, what social event, the musician, and what song it was. And then we also included that information in our word processing about the different type of music.
We put music onto the files, for the rap file, we put rap music into it, and so that when you clicked on the little button that said rap, it played rap music.
The technology allows for creativity. It allows for students to be creative in expressing what they have learned or what they hope to learn. It's like a paintbrush to an artist or a chisel to a sculptor. If you give technology to someone in the humanities, you open horizons.
You learn more because it's an interesting way to apply it, because you're not just studying it and then writing a report on it. People can use it for references, so it has to be accessible for other people so they can go into the database and understand it and get what information they need.
I think the computer makes a lot of things more hands-on, and certainly for a lot of people, reading a textbook or hearing a lecture is not nearly as useful, and you don't get nearly as much out of it as being able to really work with it. But once you start out with the idea that you want, you present a proposal for your project, and then you start working on it, trying to tie in not only different computer tools, the word processing, spreadsheet, database, graphics, communication, but also the different academic themes. And some of the special effects that you can put in with the video really add that fun aspect to it. One of the really fun parts is not having to spend nearly as much time on your project as you would have had to before. You can really get a lot more done, so you can put more work into it.
It makes everything easier.
Because we're trying to teach students to be more actively involved in learning, to think for themselves. After all, that's what education is about. The computer allows us to have so many more responses they can give. In other words, they don't just have to write a paper or fill out a worksheet. They can actually go and create projects. Look at the beginning and see if you like the way it, well, looks and sounds to you.
The computer makes the writing easier because you can type in your original document and go back and change it and edit it and play around with the format without having to rewrite or retype or without losing your original document. So you can sort of brainstorm on the computer and save it, and then you can go back. You can have access to it all the time, and you can stick it in and take it out. It's a lot easier to play with.
The biggest improvement I've noticed with composition, creative writing teaching is that the students are actually revising more. I will have no trouble getting 4, 7 drafts of the same poem simply because they have something physical to do. It's not as tedious anymore, you know, to revise. So I love the fact that it really is improving the quality of the writing. They are doing far more creativity, and I never thought of computers as being that creative.
And how many would vote for continuing the use of computer technology in the humanities as part of the learning experience? It looks like a majority vote, an overwhelming majority vote on that, so you may be asking for more work this year.
I would say that the entire reward for me as a principal comes to seeing the enthusiasm of students excited about learning. And that is a sign that we are restructuring, that we're not designing a curriculum and putting kids in it, but we're letting the kids indicate what the needs are and designing that curriculum to meet their needs.
If we integrated the English and the history and the computers, then maybe it would, like you say, cut down on time and we can still move onward.
And somebody else can go back there and use the computer to get research, and it won't take as much time as if they had to go and look up everything in a library.
An administrator must believe in the vision of the teacher, and an administrator must give support to that vision. And if you really believe in it, whether you're the administrator or the teacher, you've got to keep pushing forward to make that happen. And I think our children, in spite of what negative pieces you read, are brighter than we have ever seen. They are a part of the world-class education, and they're making it happen.
You know, the key to the success of a program like Patrick Henry's is the vision and commitment of both administrators and teachers. Our next guest is from Tucson Unified School District in Arizona,